If you're watching this video, you're likely trying to get started making money online with dropshipping. The big question is how, and the second biggest question is where do I start? Because there's so many different ways you can start selling products online with dropshipping. Where do you put your energy? What is the easiest for a beginner? What is a lot harder for a beginner? And what just outright sucks? That's exactly what this video is going to be about, because after helping 2,000 clients get started with dropshipping, I know the ones that are the easiest and the fastest to get started making money online with as a beginner, sometimes in a matter of days. And I also know the ones that can really get you stuck spinning your wheels and burning money without ever seeing a cent. Now, even though I'm biased and I have certain ones that I really enjoy that I teach that have incredible success rates for me and my clients, I'm always going to come at this with the facts. I'm going to come at this with a lens of here's who it's good for in this situation, here's what it's good for in this situation. And in the end, if you pick one that's a bit more beginner friendly, that's more likely to get you success now sooner than later, there's no reason why you can't grow that until you get to the point where you outgrow it and touch on something more advanced. But let's dive into number one, the one you hear about all day, every day on YouTube, on Instagram, all over the planet. Shopify dropshipping, the OG, the godfather. Now, Shopify dropshipping is something that I started with. It's something that most people who have been in the dropshipping game for a while started with because ultimately it's one of the best. And to be clear, when you're dropshipping on Shopify, what that means is you're building a website, putting winning products on it, and then typically running ads on platforms like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, driving people from whatever it is that they're doing, probably looking at memes, over to your website to buy the products you have for offer. And it's amazing because sales can come in while you're sleeping, while you're on date night, while you're watching a movie, hell, even while you're watching memes. That's what Shopify dropshipping is about. It's been around for a very long time and it is incredible. So what are the pros? The first pro is really you own it. Your store, your brand, you own it. Now, of course, if you're really naughty, you can get deplatformed on Shopify, but ultimately it's your very own website, your own product pages. You have complete control over how it looks, what's on there, what apps are on there, what pictures you use, all the good stuff. It is yours to own and control. You can build it however you want. So people who are super creative and love the design aspect of things and just creating something that they can build long term, it's awesome. Another great thing about having a Shopify store and dropshipping on it is the fact that a lot of it can be super automated. Of course, after you've done the manual setup and you've got sales coming in, the things on the back end, such as email marketing or fulfillment of your orders once they come in, there is all kinds of software and apps that plug in so that you can go ahead and run the business without necessarily having to click all the buttons, do all the steps, and do all the processes. And finally, it can be a little bit set and forget. Now, I'm not one of those people that claims that it just runs forever and makes you millions of dollars a month without doing anything. But once you've got a Shopify store that's working, you've got a product that's converting, your pages are converting, your ads are rocking and rolling, you're making money, you're making profit. Well, then outside of keeping things fresh, new ad creatives, and making sure that you're looking at the data and making decisions to scale, you can kind of just let it run in the background. There isn't as much work required as was to set it up. So it's super sexy. But what are the cons? Because while you hear about Shopify all the time, there is the issue that it's not the most beginner-friendly model, hence why you hear about a lot of people failing with it. You see, the first thing is it takes a lot of time and money to build. And if you're somebody who's maybe working 9 to 5 or you have a full-time job and you only have a certain amount of capital allocated to building a business, you don't have 24 hours free a day, nor do you have $30,000 a week that you can invest in building a store, which means your resources are limited. And when you start to get into Shopify dropshipping, you need to be aware that you have to spend time building the store, doing the product research, building out the pages. Even with AI to help you out, there's a lot of time invested into getting the store ready to rock. There's also a lot of time involved in writing ads and creating ads and filming ads and editing ads and running the ads. That is all time that you're fronting and putting in upfront before you ever see a dime in profit. And on the flip side, you've also got the ad spend. You have to pay money each and every day to Facebook, to Instagram, to TikTok to run your ads to your new store. Because you're fronting so much money to make money, it can really affect your margins. You see all these stories of people who are doing 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand a month in their Shopify store. But what you oftentimes don't hear is unless they're really good at what they do, they might not have the margins that you think. They might be making 10 grand a month, but they may only be making 1 grand profit. And if they're putting in 30 hours a week, it's probably not worth it for the money that they're making. Because that 10 grand in sales, of course, is going to take out the cost of the product. But if you're not very good at advertising, your ROAS, your conversion rates aren't where they need to be, you might be left with a tiny bit or nothing at all in profit. So keeping these in mind, if you want to get into Shopify dropshipping, which is a great model, you need to be aware that it can be frustrating because you will be spending time and you will be spending money with a high likelihood that you won't see fast returns. If you push through that to the end and you're consistent, of course you're going to get where you want to go. But just bear in mind that if you're a beginner looking to get quick wins now, probably not gonna be the best move for you. Now, the next one is TikTok Organic. You've probably seen TikTok Organic videos all over YouTube. It is something that has become quite popular. Now, here's why it's great. TikTok is a free app. Posting on TikTok is free, meaning you can post a bunch of content advertising a product that you're dropshipping, whether you do run it to a Shopify store, you just run it to a one-pager, whatever it may be. What TikTok dropshipping is all about is making videos with the aim of them going viral, talking about this product. Look at this cool product I bought. Every boyfriend needs to buy this for their girlfriend, whatever it may be. These videos can go viral, get a bunch of free eyeballs, sometimes hundreds of thousands and millions of eyeballs on a single video. That then go to click the link in the bio, find the product and purchase it, you dropship it, and you make a ton of money in profit. That's the model. Zero ad spend required. You don't have to spend a bunch of money on ads and risk it. You're just spending a bit of time. Sales can really move fast, especially once you have that first viral video. Once you got a video that's really starting to pop off and it's going viral, it can still make you sales for weeks or months at a time, depending on the longevity of that video, even though you only made that video once. And finally, it's a really creative endeavor. If you find making content fun and you want to go out there and dropship but have a bit more of your face or your energy in it, you can absolutely go out there and do it with TikTok dropshipping and have that creative itch scratched as well. But what are the cons? Well, number one, 99.9% of people don't like making content. It's a grind, it takes time, and if you're somebody who doesn't know how to edit or use different platforms like CapCut, whatever it may be, it's gonna feel like a bit of a grind to you, and you can never predict which videos are gonna go viral. You might go viral in your first 5 videos and suddenly be making a bunch of money, or you can be 1,000 videos deep and still not have one that works. Because bear in mind, not only do you have to have a really good product that people actually wanna buy, but then you gotta pair it up with content that you have to produce with the hopes of it going viral, which you don't control. When you're spending money on ads, you're basically guaranteed that it's gonna get pushed out to people and seen. When you're making content using free algorithms, you're not guaranteed it's gonna get shown to anyone. The content has to be good and the product has to be something people actually pay attention to. Meaning, the biggest issue with TikTok dropshipping is that there's no guarantees. You're not guaranteed anything. You could put in 1 hour and make a bunch of money. You could put in 1,000 hours and still make no money. It's one of those things you're gonna have to work out until it eventually clicks. And at that point, you'll start to get the hang of it and you can make some really good money. But for me, not really my style. I like to have a bit more control over the way that I sell products. And that brings me to the third platform, and that is organic shopping platforms like Facebook Marketplace, like eBay. These platforms where you are going on there and people are buying and selling all day, every day. They're free apps that are already on your phone, and these are the ones that I recommend the most. And here's why: it's not only the best platforms for beginners, but also it's the easiest and fastest to start making money with. Number one, it's free to get started. Platforms like Facebook Marketplace, there's no fees, there's no listing costs, there's nothing that costs you money to start putting products up, which means you don't spend any money to put products up and show them to your ideal customer. And on the flip side, even with eBay, while they do charge a little bit of a fee, we just factor that into the way that we price the products, so we get paid anyway. But the beautiful thing is whether it is Facebook Marketplace or whether it is eBay, they already have all the buyers there shopping every single day. And if we can just find the right products and put them in front of them, then the algorithm serves it up to people who'll be actively interested in those things, and you're gonna make sales. And that brings me to my second point. The algorithm on these platforms are insane. If you go to your Facebook Marketplace feed or your eBay feed right now, when you go to the home pages, what are you gonna see? Unless you've just brand new, just installed the platform, you've never tried it before, you're gonna see a bunch of products and things that you're interested in. The algorithm knows what you buy, what you click on, and what you want. So for example, when I hop on a Facebook Marketplace, I see a bunch of Batman, Superman stuff because I'm a nerd. I see a bunch of magic stuff because I was a magician as a kid. That's why I always have deck of cards in my head. The bottom line is what I see is tailored to me. So if somebody like you put up stuff that was Superman or nerdy or Batman or comic book related or magic related, I would probably see it, and you never know. I could end up being a customer of yours. And in the same way, when you look at your feed, you're gonna see stuff that's entirely different. Now, why is this great for you as a beginner? Well, it means that you can put up 100 different products in all kinds of different niches, put them up, and then those are gonna be served to the feeds and the search results of people who are interested in those certain things. So if you put up a dog product, it might go to someone over here. Gym product, go to someone over here. And if you put up a very nerdy, geeky thing, it might get served to me. The bottom line is the platforms do the advertising hard work for you. And lastly, the best part about it is the fact that you can move very, very quickly. The reason why the majority of our clients start making their first sale, at least in their first month, is because of how fast we can start finding products and putting them up on the platform. Now, obviously it helps for us because we have AI tools we've built for our customers that make listings within a couple of seconds. The photos get downloaded, the descriptions get written, the titles get written, it gets formulated, and boom, it's up there within a couple of seconds. Even with just a basic ChatGPT account and a couple of clicks of the button, you can start getting products up just by pulling the photos and the information from the supply pages when you research the product. So instead of finding a product and waiting 6 weeks to complete the build of the store and make all the ads and get them launched and see how they perform, we find a product, press post, we see how it does. And we're never losing any money on stock because again, because we're dropshipping, we're never spending money on the product up front, only when the customer pays us. So we can test 5-10 products a day, without spending any money. And with every sale we make, we're guaranteed to make a profit because we don't have a bunch of advertising costs behind us. And even if there's a couple of fees here and there on platforms like eBay, we can just factor it into the cost. We still get the profit goal we're after. But on the flip side, what are the cons? James, I know this is what you recommend to all your clients, and I know that it works. I've seen it time and time again here on the channel. But what are the cons? What are the things that make this not so sexy? And I'll be honest, the biggest thing with a model like this is the fact that it's a bit more manual. Everyone wants an online business that is super sexy. You click a button, you make money, you do nothing, you're sipping pina coladas on the beach. But with this, even though we get all the benefits of not having to pay for a lot of advertising costs up front, or not having to pay for the products up front, not having to do the advanced advertising stuff up front, the biggest thing is you have to do a bit of manual work. When somebody orders a product, you're gonna have to fulfill, copy and paste their name and their address and put it through to the supplier. That's a couple of clicks, might take you a couple of minutes, not too much at the end of the day. But it's manual, it's not automated like on a Shopify store. And on the flip side, we've got people who make these huge $500,000, $2,000, $3,000 sales on platforms like Marketplace. But the only catch is with Marketplace is that when somebody wants a product, unlike eBay, they're gonna message you and say, hey, I want this, I want one, I want this question, I want two, whatever it may be, and you have to go back and forth. Now, our clients, they get the copy and paste scripts. Here's what to say in every single scenario. You can do it in your sleep. But again, it's something you have to do a bit of manual work on each day. But if you're making the money like that, obviously it's worth it. But that's one of the biggest things that people need to be aware of when they jump into something like this. We're removing a lot of the things that make it really hard or difficult or expensive. All that's left is a very simple system that requires a little bit of manual effort. But at the end of the day, I would much rather you spend 30 minutes a day like our clients, learning the system, making money, and then from there, if you did want to take products that are doing well and turn them into a big Shopify store from there and reinvest so you don't have to do all that stuff, then awesome, be my guest. I think that's a wonderful idea. In fact, it's what we do with a lot of our clients. But if you're a beginner, you want to make sure you're picking a system that works for you, that is going to get you the results as soon as possible so you can get those quick wins and you can really start to crush the next series of things you do from there. But the bottom line is pick your poison, pick which model you think suits you best. If you have a bunch of time and a bunch of money, great, jump into Shopify right away. Get the ball rolling over there. If you're somebody who's really charismatic on camera and you just want to make videos and you think you would love the TikTok organic stuff, do that. It's amazing, it's fun, and again, you don't have to spend any money on advertising. You're just spending a bit of time. Catch is, there's no guarantees. You might have to do 1,000 videos to get there, but once you're there, you'll start to get some traction and you can rock. The last thing is obviously eBay or marketplaces, organic platforms that we teach in the Ecom Boss program. If you're looking for the fastest, simplest, easiest way to get started making sales as a beginner, well, it's probably your best place to start. And if you're interested in applying the Ecom Boss system to start making a bunch of money with dropshipping without spending or risking a bunch of money in the process, I've got a video right here that will get you started with your first few steps to jump in. Either way, I hope you have an amazing day and I'll see you in the next one.